Hey there, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Coming live from my sauna, this is Gwen Lepard, and today I'd like you to ask yourself, how can I love myself with physical touch? So it's my 142nd day of 365 days of asking myself, how can I love myself today? And I want to encourage you to spend a little time with the envelope that you're in, the body that you're in. Use the mirror or not. I did this last night. I was undressing and I stopped myself because I have one of those closets with a wall of mirror and it's like, ah! But there it was. Usually I ignore it. I don't even pay attention to what I see in the mirror. And last night I was looking and went, wow, this is the body I'm in. And so I very gently and lovingly, with loving touch, ran my fingers across my body and my hands across my body and made connection with that part of myself that I get to drive around. It's like one of the things that I'll be talking about in my workshop in August 8th. Put that date on your calendar here in San Diego. It's the real relationship revolution is the name of the workshop. And one of the things that I'll be talking about is how, we have a body, we have a spirit, and we have a soul. And it's kind of like a car. So if you have a car, it looks really nice and it can sit in the garage and, especially if you paid a ton of money for it and it's like a Lamborghini or a Bentley or some kind of car that, you definitely don't see on the road all that much. Though some areas of Southern California you might. So that kind of car can just sit in the garage and it looks nice, but it's not going to take you anywhere. And if it doesn't have an engine, it's definitely not going anywhere. And so our soul is like the engine of the car. So our body is the actual body of the car. Our soul is like the engine of the car. So we need that to move our body. It would just be a husk. It'd just be a vehicle sitting, waiting to be used, and maybe just there to be admired. Yet we have a soul that animates us. And then, so what's the difference between the soul and the spirit? It's like I was asking myself that question. It's like, I know there's a difference, but what is it? So I'll get back to the car analogy in a moment. But I was shown really clearly last November when my kitty, Cynthia Bright Eyes, chose to cross over. And her soul came to me and was like, I am so done. Hello. Give you a wave. Her personality was like, no, I'm staying. It's like I have a picture of her just hours before she left. And her personality was still like this fierce lioness as she laid in the grass, and I'm looking at her and going, wow, you just don't want to go, do you? And yet her soul had come to me. It's like the front of her body was still animated and live, and the back of her body, literally, she was dragging it. Her back legs, the back part of her body was no longer working. So I'm kind of, if you just jumped in, I'm talking about my cat passing over last November, and how that relates to the body, soul, and spirit. So she really clearly showed me the difference between the spirit and the soul, because our body is like a car, and our soul is what is the engine. So her engine was done, and it showed me, hey, I'm ready to go. And it was a really phenomenal vision of what she showed me. And the personality was just sitting there. I'm not done. I want to stay. I even though my body doesn't work, I'm here. And yet the soul was going, goodbye. I have other things to do. And so she clearly showed me that there is a difference between the spirit and the soul. So the spirit is like the personality, or if you go back to the car analogy, the spirit is the driver. So you need a driver if you want to take that Lamborghini or Bentley or whatever, or your Tesla out of the garage instead of just admiring it, because I was admiring my body. And so that's my vehicle, and that's your vehicle, and I'm encouraging you to spend some time with that physical body today and admire it. And then also take the time to recognize that you have a soul that is animating it. That's the engine. Without your soul, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have that divine spark that's within you. That's whatever you call divinity or higher power. That's the part that drives us, or not that drives us, but that actually gives us the power to be driven. And then our personality, our spirit, is the part that drives us. So that's where you get the goals and the reason for being and the personality. Like my cat was, there she was shining, going, I still want to crawl around and yowl, but she had stopped drinking and she had stopped eating and she was done, and yet that spirit was hanging on. What's interesting about us humans is oftentimes our spirit will jump out of us, and I do a morning practice where I bring my spirit back into my body, because when we're sleeping we go places, and so maybe something traumatic has happened to you, and your spirit literally jumps out of your body, and you have to bring it back in. People that have problems with their feet and their knees and their hips, oftentimes their spirit is up above them, or just up in their upper body. So that you're driving around with a very distracted driver, so somebody texting all the time and not really looking at the road. Though your soul can give direction, it's not the driver. The driver is the spirit, the personality. So this is one of the things that I'll be talking about and sharing the process in the Real Relationship Revolution, which I will be doing August 8th here in San Diego. And so I wanted to talk about loving yourself fully today, and also loving yourself with touch, with physical touch. Taking time to feel your body. How often? What part of your body are you comfortable touching? Are you comfortable touching your face? Are you comfortable touching your chest? What about your breasts, if you have them, or your chest, your nipples? What about your belly? Hi, Lori. Nice to see you. What about your personal parts, okay? Or your genitals? Are you comfortable touching that part of you? What about your hips? What about your thighs, your knees? Do a little exploration. You can do it clothed, or you can do it in front of the mirror naked. And look at yourself. You are a miracle. You're this amazing body that the chances are 1 in millions that you even exist. So you are fabulous, perfect exactly the way you are, and growing, because that's why we're here. We're perfect and growing. And so get that perfection gene out of there. Quit trying. You already are perfect. Yay, Karen. So good to see you. So you're perfect exactly the way you are. And if you want to do good in the world, hey, thank you, Karen. And that's why you're here. You are also growing. And boy, I grew a ton this last weekend. Part of my tribe. You are perfect. Yes, you're perfect and growing. Because once you stop growing, you're in the ground, right? Or your spirit has moved on, your soul has moved on, and that's a question that we'll have to go into another time. I don't have those answers yet. So I was having a number of relationship challenges. Oh, the beeps. That means that I only have 5 minutes left in my sauna. I was asking some questions around relationships, around I was feeling in my body, and one reason why we, want to be able to touch our bodies and give our bodies love, and, touch your arms and your face and your scalp, and just give yourself love with physical touch, and, grab your booty, give it a squeeze, maybe shake it around. So get yourself in your body, get that driver, that spirit into your body, so that it's all the way down to your toes and your fingertips, so that you bring that in. In fact, we can do that real quick. No, I'll do the complete process at my workshop, but real quick, if you've been working on the computer or on some kind of project for a long period of time, and your brain, your brain's cooking, and your spirit gets up here in your body, up above your body, and it's very around your head. People that spend a lot of time, hey, thank you, a lot of time that spend a lot of time in front of a computer or a lot of time focused on a project, their spirit gets out of their body. So that's one reason why that, besides sitting, causes your psoas to hurt, so that causes your back to get arched and your hips to, the hip flexors to get tight, and then you have a lot of back pain. You stand up and you're like, oh, my back. Give it some love. Physical touch, give it some love. And so the way that we bring the spirit back into the body is you just imagine a ball of light and your spirit is in it. And so you use imagery, which has been shown to be highly effective. So you go ahead and just bring that down through your entire body. You can do it thinking about it, that your eyes are now, your spirit eyes are shining out of your eyes, and then bringing it down. If you use the energy systems in the body, the chakras, you can imagine so the crown, it's coming through your crown, past your third eye, to your throat, to your heart, down to your solar plexus, your sacral chakra, your dantian, which is the dantian, your root chakra, and down through your hips, your knees, and by then you should feel it in your shoulders, elbows, wrists, and fingertips, and then down through your lower legs, your ankles, and your feet, and wiggle your feet, and notice that your whole body feels a little tinglier, a little more alive, because you are now embodied. Your spirit is in your body. So your driver's back in the car, fully present and ready to drive this vehicle around that contains the engine of the soul, which is your divine spark, which is shining out of your eyes and sharing your message and your being and your presence with others in the world. Wow, this went places I didn't really expect today. I'm really, really glad. So today, and I wanted to get back. Yeah, the spirit is the driver, so that brings it full circle. And thanks for the loves and likes. Really appreciate that. If you like the video, please share it. The more we share, the more Facebook will share with others, and the more we can get out the message about when you're asking every day, how can I love myself? You're feeding that soul, your spirit, getting that spirit back into your body, and making your vehicle healthier and more vibrant so that you can love better and be loved better. Victoria, oh, it's so good to see you. Yay! I'm so glad you're here. I'm just wrapping up, so you probably have to watch. But we need to plan. We haven't done a Facebook Live together yet. Maybe we did in person when I saw you in OC, but we need to do one with your magic, because you are just amazing. So appreciate you, and we both have that soul language, so maybe we'll share some of that. Yeah, that would be good. So wrapping up, so when you're asking yourself, how do I love myself every day, then it's like when you're flying, it's like putting on that oxygen mask and nourishing yourself first. So you have the energy and the breath and the spirit and the soul and the vibrancy to help others and bring your message, who you are, to the world. Because you're a leader. If you don't think you're a leader, look around you and who looks up to you. Because every single person that I know is a leader of something, even if they're just a leader of themselves. And maybe you've lost your way in that. And so that's who I help. I help feminine leaders who want to overcome their relationship baggage, optimize their self-love, and open up to their full potential so that they can own their power. And what I'm really passionate about is creating relationships that stand the test of time. And I'm happy to say that the questions that I started asking showed me that I really am the relationship optimizer, and how I've always optimized things my entire life and made the connection between optimize, optimist, optimistic. I've always been the rose-colored glasses, Pollyanna person that finds the best solution in any situation. And it may take me a bit, because sometimes I need to spiral down and feel the shadow, because the bigger the light, the bigger the shadow, the bigger the message, the bigger the shadow. And I got confronted with all that this last weekend. And so it brought me even more into recognizing what an amazing vehicle I've manifested in this lifetime, and that I really gave it appreciation and love through my eyes, my hands. So I encourage you to give your body love through your eyes, your hands. Touch yourself today in a loving way, and I'll see you tomorrow. If you want, share how you've been loving yourself on the thread here. Love to have your comments, and share the video. Thanks again for the likes and loves and thumbs up, and it helps a lot. Really appreciate it. Yeah, we'll talk with you tomorrow on day 143 of 365 days. And go ask yourself, how do I love myself today? And be well. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love all the loves. Oh, this must be Victoria. Take care.